Hey, I'm James. In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 secrets to drive insane engagement on LinkedIn. Sound interesting? Stay right there. So if you're new here, my name's James Mulvaney. I am founder of radio.co, podcast.co and matchmaker.fm, all doing really cool things in the audio and broadcasting spaces. So if you like, you can go and check them out. I generally like making videos about audio, audience growth, all that good stuff. So if you like that kind of content, please hit the subscribe button. I'm always pushing it out here on the channel. So let's get down to it, today's video. I've been really excited to make this because we've been playing around on LinkedIn for the past, 7-8 months. And these 3 particular tricks that we've been using, these secrets, have been working incredibly well and generating an insane amount of views and clicks and engagement. And also some of it has led to various different opportunities, people DMing me for work and that kind of thing. And LinkedIn as a platform, I think, is incredibly powerful if you are trying to grow an audience for your business, you're trying to grow your personal brand, or even if you're just trying to promote something like a podcast, for example. And these tricks, I think, can be applied to anyone. So they're not really industry specific. They're pretty straightforward to set up, and they're kind of hacking the system in the way, which I really, really like. So I thought I'd share 3 of these great tips with you today. The first one is the arrow trick. The arrow trick's great because it does 2 things. Number 1, it forces people to hit that kind of like or engagement button, but it also encourages them to comment. Now, the key thing to remember about content on LinkedIn and really any social network is the more engagement a post gets, whether it's likes, comments, or people just paying attention to that post, the more the algorithm of that platform will rate that post, and the more people that will then see that post. So it's kind of one of these things, like if your post doesn't get any engagement, if you don't get likes, if you don't get comments, no one sees it. The more comments and more likes you get, the more people see it. But then if you can change it from something that gets lots of likes and comments to actually encouraging people to like and comment in a clever way, that's where you get this kind of snowball momentum, and that's when it becomes really super exciting. So the arrow method, the arrow trick, is really, really straightforward. You create an image. Generally recommend we create sort of like a square image like you would perhaps on Instagram. You have an arrow pointing down to the corner where the like button is, and you simply have a nice big clear text, so when people are scrolling through, they can kind of stop and see it. And this thing looks a little bit weird. That's possibly why this works so well, because it's taking people away from what they're normally used to seeing on LinkedIn. And you simply have a phrase which starts, "These people like ... That ... can be anything, and it needs to be something that's relevant to your audience, that's relevant to perhaps your business, your podcast, whatever it is you're trying to promote, or your personal brand. So for example, mine might be, "These people like podcasts," okay? And below that, you'll have a further call to action at the bottom of the post, bottom of your image, which says, "Comment below and let us know which your favorite podcast is." This could be applied in different ways. So it could be, "These people have recently started a podcast," or "These people have recently started a business." And then you might say, "Tell us about the business that you've just started," or put a link to your website below. This does 2 things. Number 1, prompts the user to click the like button because they want to be included in that poll of those people that have just started a business or have just started a podcast or like listening to podcasts or whatever it might be. Think about how you could apply this to your industry. Think about how you could tailor this kind of post to the market that you're trying to target. So they'll click the like button straight away, but then they'll, generally speaking, feel quite compelled to comment below and actually talk about the project that they've been working on. Because everyone wants to share what they've been doing, right? If you've been plowing hours of your time into launching a new business venture, or you've been spending a lot of time working on your podcast, it's great to share it, and you'll share it at any given opportunity. So this is why this post works really well. I'll show you a couple of examples on the screen now so you can see some of the results that I've had using this method. Go and steal it, try it out, see if it works for you. But the trick is to, number 1, prompt that initial engagement, and number 2, provoke a comment. So this is the arrow trick, and it's awesome. So the second tip I've got for you is video, and before we get into tip number 2, I really encourage you to watch the end of this video because number 3 is absolutely killer. I'm talking emoji reaction polls. I know that sounds a little bit weird, I'm going to explain it in a bit, but let's firstly talk about tip number 2, which is video. Now still, it surprises me, not that many people on LinkedIn are posting video. So just by posting a video on LinkedIn, you immediately get a little bit of a benefit in terms of the old algorithm voodoo than sort of standard post, like just writing text or sharing an image or something. I think this is just because not that many people are still creating videos on LinkedIn, and I've certainly noticed if I post a video versus posting another piece of content, generally speaking, videos always seem to get more views, they always seem to get a little bit more traction out the box. But the real trick is creating a discussion point in your video. So rather than just kind of explaining what you're talking about, you really need to ask your audience to then engage in the comment section with something. It could be asking for their opinion, it could be asking them to share a link to an example of something that they've been working on. It might be saying, you know, what have you been doing this week? I don't know, what top 3 achievements or what top 3 recommendations can you give to people to help them, I don't know, do better work or keep more motivated. Really, whatever it is you want to do, but just the key is here, ask your audience to participate in the discussion. Get that discussion going. And of course, if you've got a video, number 1, it ranks better. Number 2, if you've got a video with then lots and lots of comments, it can rank really, really well. And that's when things can really start to take off. And I'll show you some examples of videos that I've had dozens, sometimes even hundreds of comments on, which have worked absolutely brilliantly. Okay, so my third tip for you today is my favorite. This is super powerful. It works every time. It's really easy to throw together, and it's called the emoji reaction poll. Now you can run polls natively on LinkedIn. They have this as a feature, and for a number of weeks I tested this out on my LinkedIn profile. Worked pretty well, got some good responses. And by the way, polls are a fantastic way just to kind of find out information about your target market. You know, if you think that people maybe need help with certain things, run a poll on LinkedIn and ask people. It's incredible some of the results you'll see, and sometimes the answers can be really surprising. You can also use this data to create things like infographics or to create articles or content for your site as well. So polls are super powerful, just as they are on LinkedIn. But where you can take it one step further is the emoji reaction poll. I think this works so well, and we've been playing around with it, as I say, for probably the last 6 to 8 months. It's been working really, really well. We've been running one of these every week, every other week. Some of them have got sort of hundreds and hundreds of responses and have been absolutely fantastic. Basically, you have a set of reactions. So when you go to respond to a post on LinkedIn or you want to like that post, they introduced reactions maybe a year or 2 back. Reactions basically are more than just a thumbs up. So you have a love heart and plus a couple of others. You have a curious reaction. What's the other one?
Light bulb. There's like support hands.
Yeah, oh yeah, supporting hands.
So there's thumbs up, clapping.
Clapping. That's it.
Love heart.
I'll just go back into the clapping. Finally, they had the clapping reaction. So, rather than running a standard poll, you just simply create an image, okay? And you ask people to respond using one of these reactions. So you list down a little emoji of each of these reactions on an image with an answer, okay? And basically treat the reactions like an answer to a poll. Now I think this works really well for two reasons. Number 1, it kind of catches people. Like again, it's the same with the arrow thing. You're scrolling through your feed, suddenly you see this weird image with all of these like reactions down the side and a bunch of answers and a big question at the top. So immediately kind of is a bit more fun. It feels like more fun for some reason, responding to that with a weird reaction rather than just responding to like a poll, which kind of sounds a little bit boring sometimes. So I think it kind of creates that element of fun. But of course, the more reactions you get, the more people see this post, and it creates this snowball effect, which is why I like these style posts so much and why they've been really, really effective when I've been focusing on growing my personal brand. But you know, think about polls. You can have polls about absolutely anything. Doesn't matter what your market is, doesn't matter what you're trying to promote or what audience you're trying to attract. Just think about the sort of questions that they have and just go and ask them in the polls. And generally speaking, people will then get involved naturally in the conversation. You can also put a CTA at the bottom of your image, or you know, in your text blurb above, saying, you know, if you have any, if you have an other category, comment below, or just say, please share with us your thoughts, you know, in the comments. And people really enjoy getting involved in discussion on LinkedIn. So there we have it, 3 little hacks, 3 little tips to hopefully accelerate your LinkedIn growth. Obviously, this all works because it's instigating reactions, it's instigating comments and discussion, which is ultimately what social networks want. They want your time on the screen, they want you to spend more time on their platforms, which is why these methods work really well. Let me know in the comments if you've got any other tips or tricks on LinkedIn and how you've been able to get really good results on LinkedIn. Maybe there's some things that I'm not aware of, or some little hacks, little techniques that you've been playing with and been working really well. I'd love to hear your results. Thanks very much for watching this video. If you found it useful, remember to give me a thumbs up, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now. Hey, before you go, let's connect on LinkedIn. I'm always posting interesting content like this over on my LinkedIn channel, and it'd be cool to hang out. So go to jamesm.com/connect, click on LinkedIn, send me a connection request. And once we're connected, send me a message, say you came over from this video, and I'll send you some cool things for free. Sound fair? Well, head to jamesm.com/connect and connect with me on LinkedIn, and I'll see you over there.